do what we want to do, to be where we want to be.
Mm-hmm.
This game, we're going to be at this point in the season, and maybe they're doing a little better than they thought, but I think they knew there were certain games. There was going to be the 49ers game was going to be important. I think they knew, that Vikings game was probably going to be important. The week 1 game against the Bears on the road was important early in the season.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so these things were all done and for this reason. And that's why I think, and I think also, I'm going to say it, I also think that's why Ryan Grant, this will be the first time we see him. And people, I think, literally have forgotten, and I've actually seen questions on Twitter about, well, why don't they just cut him?
The wide receiver, good sign that everyone wanted.
And he hasn't sniffed the field. He hasn't even been active. And then people are grumbling. I think that's another, again, it was a long play. It wasn't, okay, well, we had one receiver get injured. This guy knows the system. Let's get him in here. And now there's a bunch of bad film and confidence. And nope, we're not going to worry about it. We need him. We need this. This is what he can provide for us. We need that provided for us there. And that gives us an opportunity for this. And even though you don't plan, you're not hoping for an injury like what happened to Devontae, but when you're kind of pre-prepped and have an idea like, okay, well, what if it's just like scenarios. What if we lose Aaron Jones? Okay, this is the way we can do that. I think this was all just done. And I think that's where Pettine comes in and talks and wants to iterate about the football. He's not talking just about his offense. He's talking about the football mind. And I think he bought in and wanted to stay here and chose to stay here because of those conversations were about the big picture. And when you're a coach, that makes your job so much easier, don't you think, Dave, of knowing that the guy, when you're a defensive coordinator, knowing your offensive head coach isn't going to be running in and out week to week, panicking and yelling at you because of something bad or something good, you can expect a steady Eddie guy because he's always got a long play in mind that makes the life easier.
I mean, yeah, because for one, that's one thing. Actually, he had a couple of questions on the press conference. Was the fact that Kyle Shanahan taught him to don't get angry over the small things. He goes, that's the whole point of having a plan in place. He goes, when something doesn't work, you adjust to it. Make the plan work. So right there, it shows to me that's why LaFleur doesn't get mad at the small things. Okay, how many times have we seen Rodgers and a wide receiver been off cue, where Rodgers want to run one route, the wide receiver runs something completely different. LaFleur ain't out there trying to give him crap because the wide receiver because he didn't run the right route, or because Rodgers
just
missed
to
him on
be
a
clear,
throw.
Rodgers is not berating that receiver anymore either, like he was under McCarthy.
Nope. Actually, no. Last week, I just
wanted to point that out.
That's a good
quickly.
point out. There was a point last week where Allen Lazard dropped a ball, and in the Carolina game, it was right in the beginning of the game. It was a dropped ball, and it showed Rodgers on the sideline talking to him. It wasn't him berating the wide receiver anymore. He was talking to Lazard. He was telling him he can maybe put it in a better place. That right there is huge, and I can't believe I haven't brought this up yet. Thank you. There's something that a lot of people have given Rodgers crap over with McCarthy, and they said they wouldn't have a chance with LaFleur. Jay, I am proud to say this because we've seen it in what you just mentioned, because he's not berating wide receivers or QB coaches or head coaches. He's evolved. As a player mentally, Rodgers has evolved. One, he doesn't care about the stats. Two, he doesn't care about the accolades.
I don't know if he's so much evolved.
I'm not saying like as a growing. I'm talking about like he's evolved into the point where it realizes he doesn't have to carry the load anymore.
Bingo.
I feel like
I was going to get there. That's what I was just going to get to. To me, it's not about evolving, Dave. it's about, 'cause, I know that, look, this is going to sound funny, but I'm this type of person. I understand where he's coming from. As a cook, right? I am super, and we own, I work for my in-laws. We've had the place 12 years. We got other people that there. I can't train people because everything matters to me. Everything is important. I work there. I work 5 days a week as the cook. On all the cooks, I cook the most hours there out of everybody. The in-laws are there as owners more, whatever, more hours. But just as on the line, I'm the main guy. I'm there the most. And so to me, I cook the most meals. I got the most pressure. There's the most of the prep is on me. There's not a prep cook. We don't have a dishwasher. We don't. And so I got really grumpy for a lot of years. And everybody came to me over the last few years. Even my youngest brother-in-law, who I get along with, I never yell at. He's starting to tell me, like, dude, you're a freaking crab ass all the time, dude. Like, every little thing, I would burn an egg and it would just piss me off. Like, it's just an egg, dude. Like, they're cheap, they cook fast, it's not the big, but every little. And then we got this new menu, and some changes were made, and a few things were done, and some pressure's off me, and it's just easier now. Like, I actually have more to do with the new menu, but because of the way we all communicated and the way the menu is, and it's kind of more streamlined, even though there's different items, it's a little less hubby-bubby, and there's less going on, less on my plate. I'm a happier guy. I was always a happy guy, but there's less pressure on me. That's what you said. Under Mike McCarthy, it became, if Aaron can't do it, we can't win. And so then when things don't go right, it's all going to be on him. And so then when the receiver doesn't run the right route, well, now I don't feel like if you run the wrong route on 2nd and 9 and now it's 3rd and 9, boy, that's a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? Like, and this offense it takes the pressure off him, so he doesn't need to be that guy. He doesn't need to be anal because the coach worries about the little stuff. The coach is coaching up all the little stuff. The coach is scheming up things that he sees on film that players have deficiencies and schemes things up to hide those and help that player with deficiencies be effective when he's on the field. Mike McCarthy didn't do any of that. It was Aaron, make the perfect throw. Aaron, make the right check. Make the right protection play. Tell the line what to do. Make the right hot route read. Find out what the defense is doing. Make the correct audible. It was everything from play to play became on Aaron Rodgers' shoulder, and that makes for a grumpy, angry, disgruntled, asshole employee, just like Jay was on the line. I know it sounds funny, but it's the best way I can relate to it for people.
Oh, no, you're good. It's just, I mean, yeah. Thompson and McCarthy did that to Rodgers for years. Hey, carry this franchise. Like, put this thing on your shoulders. Hey, we need you for this run the table. Come on. Like, it's just nonstop. So Aaron realizes now he doesn't have to be that grumpy QB because, one, he doesn't have to do everything. He's literally just got to play the QB position. That's it. He's got the parts to help not carry him, but like carry the team with an offense as a unit. The defense carries the team as a unit. It's all together. Like I said, I think special teams has a big play in the game. I think even for my earlier, it's not even just Tremont Smith. Like if a blocked punt comes in for our special teams, it's huge because then it gives Rodgers field position with the offense in opponent's territory right away. It's not even Tremont Smith. It's just I just want to play from special teams. That's what I want. Yeah. Something. It's literally flatlining. It's getting that bad, and I feel like they're handicapping Tremont Smith because Jay, I went back and watched his highlights as a kick returner for Kansas City. Oh my God, it was like a rocket. Literally, he's like a cannonball gets shot out on a kick return. And he was picking up 30 to 40-yard returns and, I mean, getting the Chiefs' offense in the opponent's territory right away off the kickoff. Like, every time, it's always he has to kneel it, or if anything, if he does take it out, it's because he's getting on the 1 or 2 yard line, and it's the ball's up in the air so high, defenders are already there, and the people aren't making their blocks. So, yeah, like you said, coverage units on both kickoff and punting needs to be better.
Okay. Well, guess what that means? We got in that, and it is time, unfortunately, for our last break, and then we have our final thoughts. It's time to close out the show, man. Have you believed that we've almost 2 hours and 15 minutes we've been talking? Wow.
Not surprising. We can talk a lot.
I know. All right, guys, we'll be right back, and then we'll have our final thoughts and close out the show. And if you haven't had enough of our banter tonight, you want to visit NFL Addictions on Facebook.com for all of your NFL banter and debate. It's not a trash talk site, so keep it clean and keep it cordial. That's NFL Addictions on Facebook.com. And if you still have an itch to scratch when you're done with that, you want to visit Raz Addictions on Facebook.com to play their version of the raffle for all kinds of chances at cool prizes. You can even win some cash. Buy a $10 raffle ticket with a chance at $100. That's a chance to win 10 times your money. It don't get any better than that. That's Raz Addictions on Facebook.com for all kinds of cool prizes. Tell them what you've won, Dave.
I've won everything from NFL tailgating barbecue sets. I've got old school helmets. I've got new style helmets. I've got memorabilia rings. I've got signed banners. I've got signed footballs. I've got everything that Raz Addiction offers, folks. They also have more that I haven't won, which is surprising, but they're cheap, affordable, and they're certified stuffs that you can win. So go ahead and check it out.
That's Raz Addictions on Facebook.com. Go there, play, and win. And now it's time for shout-outs.
We have Miss @Julie_Noted _PFG NFL writer and co-founder with @Backs Football Guru of @PFG Vibe and PFG Vibecast. Julie is also a Colts writer for @Our Turf Football, a women's group of sports writers with having great pieces and is a great sports follow. Also, we have PackToTheFuture.com, where it features us on their podcast sections, where you can get all the things you didn't even know, where you can check out Packers news and check out tickets to the games and even Packer event updates.
Parker Momos is a Packers writer and contributor for Die Hard Packer Fan, a great young writer with a different view of the game and brings a ton of energy and passion to his work. Then you've got @MontyJP231, the founder and host of the Full Monty Football Show every Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, featured by Nuts and Bolts Sports on blogtalkradio.com. He works hard on Sundays so you don't have to. And follow the rest of the crew too, @Greg Cowboys, @Lion Cuban, and @The Other George Lopez. Again, that's @MontyJP231 on the Twitter.
We're going to round this out with the NFC North Round Table Fellas. Starting off with @Mike Zimmer's Ears. JB is co-host of the Heart and Skull podcast. Then we have @The Fifth Top. Julius Porter is a Detroit native Lions writer for @Detroit Sports Nation, and Uncle Mike 21. Austin Fugelstad is the co-host of @Hollis Hall Brawl, covering all the things you need to know about the Bears, Vikings, Lions, and Packers from these fellas. Also, special shout out to Julius Porter. He's going over to Afghanistan, folks. He's going over to be a contractor to help set up for the soldiers. Go ahead and keep him in your prayers. We're going to miss you, buddy. We'll be holding a spot for you when you get back. We'll miss you and love you.
Much love, Julius. Stay safe, buddy. And as always, you can follow us on the Twitter @FirstAndGoalPod, myself @UPJ33, Dave is @SteakAndCheese, the fantasy wonder himself, Dylan @DylanBusby1. Email us at firstandgoalpodcast@yahoo.com with all your football and Packer questions. Give us your comments, and you just might end up making the show live.